Welcome back to Chaos and Carry-Ons, the podcast where we share the wild, wonderful, and sometimes wacky side of family travel.
I'm Stephanie. I'm here for the travel snacks and all things theme park related.
And I'm Shelby, the Disney-obsessed, always planning the next trip, mom who never says no to a souvenir cup.
Today we're going to dive into a family favorite spot in Florida that sometimes gets overlooked with all of the other big Orlando theme parks, Legoland.
And for all the parents with little kids, we're also going to be talking about the Peppa Pig theme park. Because let's be honest, if your kid knows Peppa, you already know that you're going to end up at Legoland.
Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside.
So we'll start off with saying that Legoland is not in Orlando proper. It's actually in Winter Haven. That's about 45 minutes to an hour from Orlando. It's a whole resort with a theme park, a water park, and hotels that are themed around, you guessed it, Legos.
The coolest thing for me is that Legoland is designed for kids that are younger, which is the stage of life that I'm in right now. So the rides were gentler, the theming is playful. Kids can actually do everything. Like the first time I went in, to me it felt like an in-between of like Dollywood, because we're local to Dollywood, between Dollywood and Disney World. Very, very, very kid-friendly.
Yes, they have more than 50 rides, shows, and attractions. So they have the Dragon Coaster, and it's the perfect first big roller coaster for kids.
And then there's Miniland USA. So they have recreated famous landmarks out of Legos. Think like New York City, Las Vegas, even parts of Florida. And I'll be honest, when we went to Legoland, it was my mother-in-law, myself, and Taylor. We went and we spent probably an hour in this area. It is what seems like the entire United States built out of Legos. And it is the coolest thing ever. Like, that was the highlight of Legoland to me. I loved that little area.
Well, we're saying it's for smaller kids, but it seems like, I don't know if Shelby feels this way, but Legos are coming back. Like, teenagers want to do Legos. Adults play with Legos. Like, you could still go to Legoland no matter how old you are.
Absolutely. We had a blast there.
So let's talk about where to stay. Legoland has 3 hotels, the Legoland Hotel, the Pirate Island Hotel, and the Beach Retreat.
The rooms look super neat. Everything is like Lego themed as far as bunk beds, treasure hunts in your room, themed decor everywhere. Staying on site there is a lot like Disney and even Universal, where you get into the parks earlier. And it's convenient. If you're going to be doing multiple days at Legoland, just like how we are about Disney, where we like going back and taking breaks in the middle of the day, this would be a perk for you to stay there. I will say, both times that I went, we were staying at Disney and drove there, and it wasn't very far. I mean, it's maybe an hour outside of Disney World, the Disney bubble. So it was definitely doable without staying there, but I can see if you're going to be there multiple days to stay on site, I can see where that would be beneficial.
I wanted to add in that I have looked at the Pirate Island Hotel many times before, and it looks so neat. I do feel like that Disney has always catered to little girls. I think a lot of people feel that way with the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. There's a lot of princess things, but Legoland has a lot of boy things. I think they even have like some knights in that hotel, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's very boy themed, heavy, which you could take girls, but I'm just saying, if you want to go somewhere that you feel like is catering to the boys, Legoland would be a good idea.
Yes.
They also have a water park. It's attached to the main park, so you can easily hop between rides and slides. The lazy river even lets you build with floating Lego bricks while you're floating along. That would probably be where you'd find Jordan and Harper. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that on the podcast.
I think we have. I don't know, because we joke about it amongst ourselves all the time. So I don't know if, but I feel like we've talked about it on the podcast. They love lazy rivers.
I don't know what the deal is with that, but they just really like there's a lazy river, that's where you're going to find the two of them.
Definitely. Okay, so now let's talk Peppa Pig. So the Peppa Pig theme park opened right next door to Legoland in 2022. Taylor was born in 2018, and she loved Peppa Pig. She was probably 18 months to 2, and it was funny because she didn't speak a lot. I mean, I honestly was afraid I was going to have to take her to speech therapy. She didn't talk a lot, but when she did, she had a British accent. And it's because of Peppa Pig. And she loved Peppa. So we went to Texas in 2020, which is a future episode that's coming soon. But we found a Peppa attraction that was inside a mall in Dallas. And it was so neat and interactive, and she loved it. And this was just like a pop-up thing that they just so happened to be doing while we were there. And then fast forward maybe another year, we hear that Legoland is opening this Peppa Pig theme park. And we had to go. So we went the year that it opened. I don't know if it was the year it opened or the year after. But Jordan and I took Taylor, and we went, it was in June. So we went for like Father's Day weekend. It was so hot, but she had a blast. It was so much fun, and you feel like you're literally inside a Peppa episode, down to the music playing through the speakers, which kind of did get annoying after a while, but it was still really cool. The theming it's on point.
You should add in to take umbrellas.
Yes. Well, they have like a shaded area that they added, but it's so flat and everything's concrete. So the sun was like shining up off the ground, and there wasn't as much shade because it's not very big. It's not an entire park. I mean, it's not as big as a theme park would. I mean, what you have in your mind, it's really not that big, but there wasn't enough shade for it to be Florida and for us to be going in June. That was our first mistake, is that we went in June.
Yeah, I remember that when you went, we were also there for, I think that's when Sophia had a field trip to Universal. And it was like record high temperatures. So we'll say that. Mm-hmm. That's what I remember about that specific year.
Yes. It was pretty rough. But the park itself, it's small, but it's the perfect size for toddler and preschool age. I will say, if you have older kids, they will be bored to death in this park. But if you have, I would say anywhere from 2, well, really, you could even go younger than 2. If they're fully aware and they are in the Peppa phase, go sooner than 2. But I think up to maybe 6, if they're still showing interest in Peppa Pig. They have like a little Daddy Pig roller coaster in there. There was a little splash pad area, like a little kiddie water slide, water park situation in there. They have some like hot air balloon things that kind of go up and spin around. They have where you can ride George's dinosaur. It's kind of like that little bear ride at Dollywood if you're local to that area. And you know what I'm talking about, like just a little ride. They had like playgrounds, and then they also had shows where Peppa and George came out. They did little meet and greets. So it was really cute. That's basically all they had. There was a restaurant, like a quick service type thing. But it's perfect for the preschool age.
Did you actually meet Peppa? Because I don't remember seeing any pictures of that.
We did. We saw a show when we went back. So Jordan and I took her in June. And that same year, Taylor and I went with Jordan's mom and dad to Orlando. They had something to do, and we just tagged along. So we went, and his mom and I took Taylor, and that time is when she got to meet Peppa. She drew Peppa a picture and gave it to her. I do have pictures of it. I'll have to post those when this episode goes live. But that was much more enjoyable because I believe that was November. And that trip was a lot more enjoyable than the June.
Yes. I think the roller coaster looks really cute. I can't remember.
It's adorable.
I think it's the Daddy Pigs roller coaster. Yes.
It is. Yep.
Like you said, the perfect age really is like a toddler. A toddling around. Because a lot of times, I think we talked about it at Disney before, they don't want to stay in a stroller.
No.
They want to get out.
The Peppa Pig park, well, Legoland too, really. It's very stroller friendly, but the Peppa side of it really was too. So, I mean, you can have your strollers, but it's so small that you really don't need it. I mean, they could walk around and feel like big kids without being big kids. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good happy medium. And a bonus for that park is it's actually autism certified, which I realized while we were there, but I forgot about this. The staff is trained and they have lots of quiet areas and sensory guides for attractions. And I have never been to a theme park that had something like this. They focused a lot on autism, which I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm. So it was quieter then?
I wouldn't say quieter, but they had quiet areas. I mean, like I said, they had the Peppa Pig theme song blaring through speakers the entire day, and it was awful. But you could go, like, there were sections of the park that were quieter, and then they had like quiet rooms and stuff like that, which Disney may have that too. I know they have like the child care centers. I'm not really sure if they have a quiet space like for autistic kids. I'm not positive, but Legoland does.
Yes.
So a few quick tips. If your kids are younger, do Peppa Pig first thing in the morning. It's definitely manageable for a half day. Like I said, they do have little splash pad area, so definitely bring swimsuits. The Peppa Land has the water park, but as Stephanie mentioned, the actual Legoland has a water park too. So definitely bring swimsuits and stuff for that. And then, as always, and I recommend this to all of my clients, whether they're going to Disney or Universal or whatever, check the height requirements before you go. Measure your kid before you ever leave your home. That way, you know, you can find height requirements for every ride online. It's just a quick Google search. That way, you know exactly which rides they can ride, but more importantly, the ones that they can't. That way, you can maybe avoid some meltdowns before you get there by like pivoting.
So is Legoland and Peppa Pig worth a day away from Disney or Universal? That's the real question.
I think so. Especially if you have smaller kids for the Peppa side. Now we have mentioned going back to Legoland just to do Legoland. We did a 1-day ticket and you get like a combo deal. If you do both parks, you get the Peppa side cheaper than if you were to only do Peppa, which is what we did the first time. We only did Peppa. The next time we did both. And it was plenty to do the Peppa in the morning and then go over to Legoland. But I will say the park hours, which again, it was the fall, it was October, November. It closed earlier and we were still like, there were still things that we wanted to do that we didn't get to do. But we also wasted a lot more time in the Peppa side too. So, I mean, I think it's worth it if you have smaller kids. If you have thrill ride seeking teenagers, no, don't waste your time and money. Just go to Universal.
I don't know if we mentioned too that they have that, the Sea Life Florida at the Legoland is now open. Did we mention that?
No, because I've never even heard of that. I don't even know what that is. I've missed this memo.
Okay, so I have a boy. So like I said, I have looked up recently going to Legoland. So they have like a new, what they're calling a family-friendly aquarium that's connected to Legoland.
Oh,
Yes.
I did not know this. Okay.
Yes. So that's something else that you can also see if you just are going to be doing all things Legoland. That's part of the Legoland experience now, is that aquarium.
So I will say, all in all, Legoland I feel like it's a must for everybody should try it unless you have older teenagers that are strictly onto the rides. It was so laid back and low key, not crowded at all when we went. We could actually see and do things, unlike Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, which SeaWorld seems to be not as crowded too, but it just gave a whole different vibe. So I don't think it would be a waste of money to go. Like I said, it really made me think of like Dollywood or Busch Gardens. That's kind of the vibe that I got. It's not like a go, 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 hit all the rides. I mean, there's lots of rides and things, but I feel like everybody should go. It's a whole different scene than the normal Disney Universal. And I think a lot of the crowd is in that area and they feel like Legoland is so far out and it kind of is like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it wasn't crowded. Either time that we went, it wasn't crowded.
Well, I also, too, want to plug that I know the last episode was about the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. They have what they call Brick or Treat, and they also have a holidays at Legoland. So if you're going to be in the Orlando area for fall things or Christmas things, they also do have like seasonal events there too.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I forgot about that.
Okay, so I just quickly looked it up, and it says that a one or multi-park ticket starts at $79.
I was going to say it's a lot cheaper, but I couldn't remember what we paid. So I didn't want to bring up the pricing because I couldn't remember. But I think, how is that for both parks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is just the Peppa? I want to say it was around $50, but you could do both parks for like, it was less than 100.
This says if you do one day at Legoland plus the Peppa theme park, it's $94.
Okay. So one alone must be 70, whatever you said.
It also says in 2026, they're going to have a new space themed experience with
That would be cool.
indoor roller coaster.
That sounds familiar.
I know. It's just funny because like on the page, these Legos are like dressed up like astronauts, you know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we went to the Lego store in, well, I won't say where exactly, but in our area. And if you just sit and watch, there was very few children coming into that store. Very, very few. It was all adults. Like I said, I just didn't realize how popular that Legos are.
I noticed that when we went to downtown Disney when we were in California, and Taylor wanted Legos for her souvenir. And I noticed the exact same thing because I was thinking like I could literally count on both of my hands the number of children in here. The rest were adults. But I mean, I'm not judging.
Well, that's it for today's adventure. So thanks so much for hanging out with us at Legoland and Peppa Pig Theme Park.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your favorite travel buddy.
And as always, may your flights be on time and your luggage never lost. But if it's not, that's where the fun begins.
Pack your dreams, grab your bag. Adventures call, let's zig and zag. From castles tall to ocean waves, magic made for wanderers brave. Theme parks light up the night, starry-eyed in sheer delight. Board the ships that sail and see, endless tales and fantasy. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside. Pixie dust beneath our feet. Through the lands and sea we roam. Feel the wonder, feel at home. From rope drop to the fireworks show, lose yourself in joyful glow. Cruising waters, feeling free. Every twist's a memory. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside.